listening to the Post-Apocalyptic Media Podcast. If it's post-apocalyptic, we're talking about it.
Hey.
Hello.
We are live.
We are.
Look at us.
Things
with
are
our
working.
background and our chroma key and all that stuff. It's
what?
And our music.
It's as if you figured out stuff since last episode.
It's crazy.
Weird.
So how are you doing, Val?
I'm doing good. Doing busy and good. I don't have, it's basically like work, eat, sleep, repeat, right?
Yeah. That's the adult life. It's hard, but
and it's worth it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So we are we're here on the Post-Apocalyptic Media Podcast number 31, and we are going to we're going to talk about all the latest post-apocalyptic media news. And for anyone who hasn't watched this before, basically what that means is, movies, TV shows, comic books, video games, anything like that. Anything you can think of that has to do with media with the within the post-apocalyptic genre. We've been doing this for this is the 31st episode, so this is kind of a different thing we're doing here today. And also if you're a regular watcher, you might notice that the background is different. But if you're just a listener I say just a listener, we love you too. But if you're an audio listener, how's that? Then you might not see all the differences here that we're doing with the background. We're getting fancy on you. So
yeah,
it's worth watching, I think.
Technology, man.
I know. So we so we're just gonna talk about this news and everything, and basically we're doing this while Derek and Stephanie are out for the next couple weeks. Probably I think next week will be the next one, or the last one, and then I will be out the week after that. So
How come? Where are you going? Are you trying to fix that airplane in the background?
Yeah, I'm going to finally get it to launch, and we're
Sweet.
going to see where it takes us.
Nice.
That'd be great.
Bella in the chat says, the current background's very nice. Reminds me of Rust on Call of Duty. I've never played Call of Duty, so I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know where it's from, actually. It's one of those, royalty-free images you get online when you look up post-apocalyptic. So.
Oh. What, you mean we're not here for real?
I mean, it's real. The thing is real, yes.
Wink, wink.
That's what I mean. We were joking before when we were setting this up that it looks like we're in the same place, and except my head is like 2 times the size of yours, at least 3 times the size of yours.
That's fine. You're just closer to the mic than I am, and I'm looking at nothing behind you.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. Actually, so where I'm going next week, my wife and I are taking a vacation for our 10-year anniversary.
What?
Yeah, 10 years. I can't believe it.
Congratulations. Holy shit.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to...
I mean, holy crap. I'm sorry.
I didn't even realize. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Well, you edit this.
Wow,
so
10 years. That's good. Yeah, I know. Man, no, I just put myself into more work needed. That's good. Whatever.
You were just bored, right? You were like, I need something to do. So, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Well, let's go ahead and get into the news. This is another, I mean, we say it every time, but this is a good week for post-apocalyptic news. It
seems like this year has a lot of post-apocalyptic stuff happening.
Yeah. I mean, the year itself, and it seems like every week it's like another thing either coming up or that's already, happened or something like that.
Yeah.
And so this last week on the 28th, which was a couple days ago, Quiet Place 2 released. Now, did you ever see the first one?
I did. It was such an amazing movie. I freaking loved that movie, dude.
Yeah.
Of course, I knew that there was going to be a sequel, but I'm like, when is that gonna happen, right? If it's gonna happen, but now we know. I know that Derek was looking forward to that movie for the longest time, and it keeps getting delayed.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that was the problem with it. It kept getting delayed. I mean, it was literally going to launch in March of last year, and then this whole like pandemic thing happened, and so they had to postpone it, and then they changed the release date a couple times, and finally it came out on the 28th of now last month of May, and it blew everyone away. I mean, it was incredible, and I guess it's because a lot of people were really waiting for something to come to theaters again, you know.
Yeah.
But it made something like 53 million, something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Holy
like,
cow.
and it set records for pandemic era, releases in the theater. Which, I mean,
wow.
it's kind of like, well, to be fair, there haven't been a lot, of movies, but
yeah.
But
and people
it's
were
good.
kind of wary before, because like not everybody has, well, especially in the States, you guys, I say you guys because I'm in Canada, but most of everyone in the States have both of their shots, right? So it's like kind of feels safer to go in public now and, do social events and stuff. Here in Canada, like I just got my first shot like a month ago. And we're gradually going there too, right? So I'm not seeing myself in a theater anytime soon, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's cool.
I mean, I'm perfectly fine. I love the like direct to home, video on demand stuff that they've been doing.
Yeah.
I mean, do that all the time. I'm fine with it. It's been great.
So you're able to stream it from home. Then you're able to rent it as if you were in a theater as a service.
Not this one, not yet.
Yeah,
I think Quiet Place 2, I think, is coming to Paramount. It's a Paramount movie, so I think it's coming to the Paramount Plus, video service, which
That's
is
right.
kind of like, I mean, it's funny. We were joking about this before, how we're back to having a channel for everything. There's like a streaming service for every channel, and you're back to having like 50 channels.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make much sense, but each company wants their own streaming service, and Paramount used to actually be called CBS Plus or something like that. CBS All Access.
CBS Plus.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
One of those things. But they changed the name to Paramount. But yeah, that's where it's coming, and I don't know. I think it's in July. So, if you want to see it now, you have to go to the theater.
Yeah.
And
it depends. I think it's not in every country, right? That's available. I know Koopa in the chat says, "I wish that was available here," and I believe he's in the UK.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
So it's not available there. Also, Bella says, "Congratulations on your 10-year anniversary."
Oh, thank you, Bella.
Yeah. So yeah, it depends on. I mean, in the United States, you guys pretty much have everything, right?
Yeah, and
everybody else is kind of lagging behind.
I
right?
totally take that for granted. I'm like, yeah, we're getting that coming out, and everyone else is like, shut up.
Everyone's like, I want to cry.
Yeah.
Derek is actually in the chat. Hi, Derek.
Oh, nice.
He is getting Paramount.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have that, and it's funny that you mentioned that because like we're paying for Netflix and then Disney Plus and then HBO Max and then blah blah blah. And now we're gonna have all these services added onto our bill, so we're just gonna be like, well, might as well just get cable with all those add-ons. That's gonna be cheaper than getting just the add-ons like by themselves, right? Then we're gonna go back to how it was before.
Yeah, I hope we don't, but yeah, it's so funny how we're just kind of migrating back to that,
Yeah. Well.
But this movie is supposed to be really, really good. I haven't seen it yet. A friend of mine saw it, and he said it's very much like the first one. And John, I keep wanting to call him Jim because of The Office, but John Krasinski, he's in it, but it's like a flashback kind of a thing, I guess.
Yeah.
So, it's a lot of the same cast, the same family. Emily Blunt is in it, and she's like the main character, and they're just trying to keep quiet. That's still trying to keep quiet.
I wonder in this sequel if they're gonna find a resolution to all this, because are they aliens? I can't remember if they're aliens or just straight up monsters from anywhere. They are aliens, right?
And the thing in this one is it says, and I don't know, people who have seen this are probably like, you dummy. But from what I hear is it's there's like a new threat. There's like a new beyond the
Oh.
aliens thing. I don't know. I hope that's not a spoiler. I know it's not a spoiler because it's in the description. So.
And it's in the description. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Oh wow, nice.
So
Derek says we should sell a VPN so everyone can be in the US. Yeah, there you go. That would be great.
there you go. Yeah.
Easy solution. But,
All right. Yeah. So the
looking forward to.
next show that's coming out soon. I'm clicking through all the ads here to get to this article. So Sweet Tooth. We've talked about Sweet Tooth before on this show, and
Yeah.
I've written a lot about it. And it's one of those things. You know, I've talked about how it was a mystery to a lot of people because they, you know, the name Sweet Tooth makes it seem like a kid's show, and then it stars a kid, and he has antlers, and people are like, well, you know, how is that post-apocalyptic? Well, and I've explained it again before, but it's basically what happens is there's this big event. You get like a cataclysmic event, and then after that, all these children are born half animal, and it's all kinds of different animals like pigs and deer and birds and things like that. And they don't know if it's a result of this big event or if it happened first, you know, like that's why the event happened. They don't really know. So, so it is post-apocalyptic, definitely. It's like many, many years after all this. And so there's this little boy growing up, and his name is, well, they call him Sweet Tooth, but his name is Gus.
Gus.
And he's basically lives with his dad, and then he wants to get out, and he wants to, you know, adventure and explore the world and all these things. But he finds out that there's a group of humans who want, like, you know, he's half human, but straight up humans who just want to get rid of all these half animal people. So this kid has to, I don't know what the end result is, but he has to, you know, go on an adventure and discover what's going on. And so far, so it's coming out on Netflix on Friday. Yeah. So we're recording this on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the episode is basically going to be released on the podcast on Friday. So it's coming out today in the future.
Yeah. If you're listening to this on Friday, it's coming out today. Yay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a whole season, I think. Isn't it? Is it going to be, let's see, I was reading through. Yeah, there's 8 episodes. So it's not like a movie. It's an 8-episode show.
Okay.
And from what I hear, it's really good. From what I hear, it's, you know, it's based on a comic book, and from what I hear, it sticks to the comic book pretty well.
Oh yeah, you were saying that before. Yeah, that's true. I had looked into it, and I'm really interested into reading the comics first and then watching a movie and kind of compare to both.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say movie again. It's not movie. It's a sort of mini series, right?
Yeah. 8 episodes.
Yeah. So I'm really, all 8 episodes are going to be released on June 4th. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it seems like there's going to be a few other characters in the show. Like you saw it in the trailer. There were, like I said, there's like a pig human person, and then there's a bird human person. So I wonder if, you know, this is me, you know, completely guessing, but I just wonder if it's like going to introduce each of these characters, you know, throughout the season. Not only those characters, but also like the main characters and stuff. What I thought was funny though is, let's see, the father of the boy is played by Will Forte. I think that's how you pronounce his name. You know who that is?
No.
He was in Saturday Night Live 10 years ago. And he was in a show called The Last Man on Earth, which was another post-apocalyptic, but it was like a comedy. It came out a couple of years ago. I really like the show. I think it's a really quirky show. Did you see it?
Yeah, I remember. I had to see his face, so I googled him as you were talking.
Oh yeah.
When you see his face, you're like, oh yeah, I know that guy. Like he's in everything basically.
Yeah. But Last Man on Earth, I thought was a funny show. It got really weird toward the end, but it's a comedy about this guy who thinks he's the last man on Earth, and he is crazy. You know, he's like crazy to begin with, but then he gets crazier and crazier as the show goes on, because then he's not the last man on Earth, which isn't a spoiler, and he meets up with these other people. And the funniest part to me about that show is, so he meets this girl. I forgot her name, but she was the wife in Mad Men. I forgot the actress's name, but anyway,
yeah.
So she's like this young blonde girl, and he's like, oh, she's the last woman on Earth. I'm the last man. We're, destined to get married and, stay together forever. And then more people start showing up. And so she starts falling for this other guy, and he just drives himself crazy because he thought like, this was his girl, and I don't know.
Oh no.
But he does it in like a funny way. He kind of drives himself crazy. And what's funny is, what was his name? See, I got old man brain, old dad brain here, but so his character name was the same as the new guy that came along. So they made him change his name to his middle name, which was Tandy. His middle name was Tandy. I do remember that part. Tandy. Okay. And so they started calling him Tandy, and he's like, no, I'm the original one. I was here first. Like, you should call me by my, but then they call the second guy, I forgot what the name was.
By the first name?
Yeah, it was like Bill or something like that, like a, common name. Yeah, it's so funny. Anyway, I love that show. I think it's kind of an acquired taste. It's one of those things that you have to, I don't know. You have to
watch like the first 3 episodes, and then you're good to go.
Yeah. See, and Derek says good pitch for Last Man on Earth.
Well, there you go. Yeah, it is a good pitch because it got me interested. So
yeah, I think it's funny. I love stuff like that, though. So yeah, that's Will Forte, and he's the father in this, which is funny because it doesn't seem like a comedy, and he's like a comedy actor. So
yeah. But it's there's a lot of actors like that who you think, wait a minute, like they can't play a serious role. They're meant for comedy, right? It's just like oh no, now his name is gone. Ozarks. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Ozarks.
No.
Is
it Ozarks?
You talking about
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, I know like Adam Sandler's done that before, where he's done serious roles.
Yeah.
And a couple other comedians, they try that. It works sometimes.
Yeah, it works sometimes. Yeah. Oh, Jason Bateman.
Oh, Jason Bateman. Yeah.
Yeah. Ozark. It's not plural. It's just regular.
Yeah. You expect to see him like in Arrested Development, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The guy from Arrested Development. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Derek. Yeah, but that show on Netflix, Ozark, was incredibly good, and it's super serious. It's about like, money laundering, and there's no comedy aspect to it at all. Well, there's a joke here and there and stuff, but yeah, I love when comedians can actually play all sorts of stuff when you only expect them to be like the funny guy, right, everywhere. But yeah. Well,
and he's a great actor.
Good for Will Forte.
What's funny? This is a Shawn side note. Do we need the theme music for Shawn side note? So Jason Bateman, we were watching Little House on the Prairie the other day, and he, as a small child, he was in that, one of his first ever roles. Yeah, he was probably 9 years old. Yeah, I'm like, that's Jason Bateman. My wife's like, what? No way. So we looked it up. Yeah, it was him.
Oh wow, damn, that's funny.
All right, yeah. So Sweet Tooth. It's coming out on Friday. I definitely want to check it out, especially all 8 episodes are dropping at the same time.
So you're going to binge watch?
Well, I wish I could, but I don't know.
From midnight to when you're supposed to wake up?
Yeah. I wonder, I've seen in this review on Rolling Stone, actually, I'm looking at this one where they say that it can be for kids, because if I can watch it with my kids, then I can watch it. I just can't watch other stuff like that. But
right.
Yeah, if kids can watch it, I'll probably watch it with the kids and knock it out. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if it can be scary for younger kids. I don't know. Because it has some sort of a serious story behind it too, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of curious. I do want to watch it. My son is 10, so I think he's good to watch that show too. So
yeah,
kind of want to watch it over the weekend probably.
Yeah.
Then discuss.
I'll at least watch the first one and see what they, they get bored of stuff really quickly. So
Oh,
you know how it is.
short attention span. Yeah.
Unless it's Minecraft. No. They'll play that
Oh,
for
of
years.
course. Minecraft. Yeah. Roblox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yep.
Cool. Well, we know what we're going to be watching this Friday and coming weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else is coming up?
Well, we have this other story about Chris Pratt, who is on, again, what's the name of that show? Parks and Rec. He was on I always think of him as Parks and Rec, even though he was on, like that Marvel show after that, the Space Lord one.
Yeah.
And he's been in so many things. Jurassic Park. He's he's like a big star now, and I'm like, that's the guy from Parks
and Rec. Yeah.
He'll always be
it was
Andy.
Guardian of the Galaxies. The Galaxy. Yeah, exactly. In the ruined chat said Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for refreshing our old brains.
Yeah. But he'll always be Andy to me. So, but he's going to be in a new movie called The Tomorrow War, and this is an interesting movie because it has his kind of classic, his delivery. I love his delivery. He has like a dry delivery, but it's also like I don't know. It's almost like he has dad jokes. You know what I mean? Like
he is made of dad jokes.
Yeah, and I love it. And so I think he's a great actor and everything. And so he's gonna be in this new movie where he basically plays this vet who is kind of recruited by these people who come from the future. They come back, kind of like that Terminator storyline. They come back from the future. 30 years later, they come back and they recruit him for this war. And they say, hey, we need as many people as possible to fight in this war, against aliens. And humanity is at stake. So he's some kind of special forces guy. He's super skilled, and all that stuff. So, of course, he's like the star. He's like the cool, Delta Force guy. But so they're able to bring him back and forth through time. They put this armband thing on him, and they put it on all the other people they recruit, so they're able to go back and forth. That's the way I understand it.
Oh, okay.
But so they show at the end of the trailer. Now this hasn't been released yet. It'll be released on July 2nd. At the end of the trailer, they show the aliens, and it's like these insect aliens, and it has like this creepy clicking sound that we've seen that a lot in recent alien movies.
Yeah.
But I love it. I can't wait for it. I think it looks great.
Oh, wow. That's going to be interesting. As soon as you said bug aliens, I was thinking about, now that word is escaping me. We're going to title this episode, Can't Think, what's that dude's name again? Like,
we could name it, we usually edit this part out. That's what.
Yeah, exactly. No, with the what is it called? They fight those giant
Starship Troopers
bugs. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
That's what it made me think of. Yeah, but the whole time travel thing is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that exactly, but it looks cool because the parts where they flash forward to the war looks really, really impressive. Like the effects and everything. It looks very post-apocalyptic. Now, I guess it would more be like apocalyptic, like it's happening at that moment. The apocalypse is happening, and he's kind of sent to stop it, which is it's that same argument with Terminator. Is that a post-apocalyptic movie? Well, there are parts of it in some of the sequels, but overall, it's like a prevention of the apocalypse movie.
Yeah. It still counts. We can cover it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it looks great though. I'm really excited about it because, like I said, I love Chris Pratt. I love alien take over the world movies. So
yeah, and he's good in space movies. So there we go.
Yeah,
in sci-fis and whatnot.
He's proven that.
Derek in the chat said, "Sign me up, Chris. I'm doing my part." And he says, "I'm doing my part" is a Starship Troopers reference. Oh, there you go. I didn't even know that. Man, the Starship Troopers, long time ago.
Yeah. That was an epic movie.
Yeah, it was very action-oriented. It was very good.
Now, this is another one that was bumped. It was originally supposed to come out on Christmas Day last year. And now, this will be interesting to me because, they were going to make it a Christmas Day movie, which is traditionally that's a really big time slot for releasing
Yeah.
an epic movie. And then they bumped it because of the pandemic, and they said July 23rd. Then they went back to July 2nd. So it seemed to not make a big difference for A Quiet Place 2, when they kept moving the release date around. I don't think it'll make a big difference with this because, Chris Pratt and,
Yeah.
and
when you get a huge actor like this, people are, they don't
yeah.
really-
So people are so starving for great movies, after last year. So
yeah.
I think it'll do well.
Mm-hmm.
It also has Yvonne Strahovski. I think that's how her name is pronounced. She was in Handmaid's Tale.
Gotcha.
And it has J.K. Simmons in it, who is in everything. He's one of those guys that you might not know his name, but when you see his face, you're like, that's the guy that's in everything. He's always like a detective or something.
J.K. Simmons. Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's the dude in Spider-Man. Get me the picture of Spider-Man. That
Yeah,
guy.
the Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Yeah. He's also in Farmers Insurance commercials, at least
Oh,
here
I
in the
did not
U.S.
know
Yeah.
that. Okay. Nice.
All right. So the last thing I want to talk about is, well, before we get into the stuff coming up, was the E3. Now, E3 it used to stand for, now, this is a big change. It used to stand for the Electronic Entertainment Expo. And now it's Electronic Entertainment Experience. They've changed the last to Experience.
Did they change that this year?
Yeah, and I don't know if that's
Oh.
going to be a permanent thing, but the reason they're doing that is because they're making it all online. They're making it all virtual,
Oh, yeah. So it's not an expo, it's an experience.
Yeah,
now.
it's an experience, which, I mean, I want to meet the marketing guy who came up with that. They're like, what do we do? We have to bring it back. And he's like, how about experience? Or I wonder if they had like a whiteboard with all these E words on it, and they're like,
Probably.
elephant, no?
Yeah, it's weird because I was thinking of the same word. I guess like it was number one
Yeah.
on the list.
It's the number one E word. So they're changing it. They're changing the name, which that's a big deal. I don't know. So, I mean, are they going to keep that like that? They say that in 2022 they might go back to being an expo, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's all virtual and it's free. That's the best part.
Nice.
This is an expensive thing. I've been to E3
Yeah.
probably 3 or 4 times in the past, and it's a huge, huge thing with panels and, you have these exclusive interviews and all this stuff and so journalists get this, there's a kind of exclusive slot where they can interview game developers and stuff like that. And then they can relay it to the public. Well, now the public is going to get all this stuff, live,
Nice.
like right while the panels are going on and everything. So I can just picture like, gaming journalists just being like, well, just throwing their pencil up in the air. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
I give up,
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. I like that they're doing this. I think it's great. Now, of course, the journalists do get like a week in advance to, they get access to all this like a week in advance. So I think that'll probably take care of that. They'll get, because people like to work out exclusives and, deals with interviews and all that stuff. It's a headache,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
but I'm excited to see what is out there. And in our realm, the post-apocalyptic realm, there's not a lot, but there's possibilities.
There's a big one. There's a giant one.
Yeah, well, there's a couple. Are you thinking about the
There's
Bethesda
one-
one? Or are you thinking about Sony?
No, yeah. Sony one.
The Horizon Zero Dawn?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. I mean, we know it's coming. We've seen trailers, but, when is the big
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
I would almost guarantee that something's going to be announced. Well, the thing is that Sony's not actually going to be at E3. It's like this other whole thing where these big companies are actually kind of, I don't know, doing their own thing. Like they're having their own press conferences.
Oh, right.
I don't think they're like boycotting E3, but I think they don't like the way it's been run in years past. politics, whatever. But so a lot of these companies are doing their own thing, and Sony's one of them. Sony's one of the first that's saying, we'll have our own press conference right during E3, and it'll be just as popular. And it works.
And it's going to be separate from E3?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
I wasn't aware of that. That's crazy.
But, yeah, so Horizon Zero Dawn is expected to get a release date announcement during their press conference. Also, Jeff Kiley has this thing called Summer Game Fest, and it also goes on at the same time as E3.
Oh,
it actually goes on for 4 months, though. It goes on through Gamescom.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
4 months?
4 months, yeah.
What are they going to do for 4 months?
I know. That's the thing. It blows my mind. But, yeah, it's just all announcements. It's press conferences. It's like gameplay. They do it on Twitch, and it's like an event. It's like a huge summer event,
Wow.
It works. It works for them.
Well, most of everything is happening online now, so of course they would do it on Twitch, right? Where everything's happening there, basically.
Yeah, it'd be silly not to.
Yeah, absolutely. What? 4 months. I'm actually very interested in seeing and knowing what actually is going to work. Because it's 4 months, but it's like every day of the week. How does that work? Do you know?
I don't know. I guess it does.
Question mark.
Yeah, I don't know. They have, I know that they have like a schedule set up, and they just, I don't know. It seems like it would take all year just to plan those 4 months. I can't imagine.
Right? It takes a long time to plan just 3 days or 4 of E3, right? Imagine like 4 months.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Koopa in the chat says they upload to YouTube, I think, afterwards with the summer thingy ? So that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Imagine they want to get it everywhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
nice.
Yeah, so Sony has the Horizon Zero Dawn, which you've played the first one, right?
Horizon Forbidden West is this one, right? I did Horizon Zero Dawn. I 100%ed it. I can't get enough of that game. I am so excited for Forbidden West. You have no idea.
Oh, yeah. I was saying Zero Dawn. Yeah, Forbidden West is the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But it's fine. Everybody knows what you're talking about. It's good.
Yeah.
It's just that I know that someone's going to be like, hey, it's not Horizon Zero Dawn. That's the first game.
Actually.
I'm talking about Forbidden West.
Yeah.
Actually. And that would have been me.
Yeah.
Actually, Shawn, I want to tell you that. Yeah. Yeah.
And let's see what else. Sony might do, well, there's speculation that they might announce a Last of Us remake. And that I don't understand. I heard some people talking about this. They have a part 2. Well, the part 2 was such a big hit. And they're talking about going back and like remaking the first one. I don't understand, but I guess they do it with movies and music and everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to make much sense. I don't know.
Remaking, like it's not even a remaster; it's completely remake.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just like fans hoping that wishful thinking. So. Yeah.
Because I don't know why they would do that after they just had this giant success with the second one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it makes sense. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna announce the third one already. What? And that's why they're doing this.
Yeah. Milking it for all they can, I guess. But I don't think they're gonna do that. I would say probably not. So for other companies, there's a couple indies. There's a game called Atomic Heart, which is it's a Russian game from a company called Mundfish. Mundfish. And it looks pretty cool. It's an FPS. It's like an open world, and it's supposed to be machines took over the world. So it's kind of
the Matrix.
Yeah, but except I think it's more like scary machines, like things that crawl around and shoot at you and stuff. So I don't know. Seems kind of cool. That's supposed to come out on June 13th, which is right during E3. So I think they're going to announce it, or they've already announced it, but I think they're going to show more about the game and then release it like right at the same time. So.
Oh, okay. Huh. Nice. June 13th. That's in not even 2 weeks. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And have a trailer and everything. If you go to postapocalyptic.com, you'll see, I think you wrote that article, right? The E3 article?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. And there's a bunch of games there that have been announced. Atomic Heart is the one that Shawn is talking about. And it's right on there. And there's a trailer and everything that you can go check it out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Looks very cool. Dead Island 2 is supposed to be announced during a press conference on June 11th.
Okay.
It's been 10 years since the original, so they're...
Has it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know.
It seems like it was just a couple years ago, not 10 years.
Yep.
It's as old as your marriage.
Yeah, exactly. 10 years was 2011. That's the crazy part. Like,
oh, my son was born in that year. Oh, man.
my daughter was born that year too, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
And
time just, boing,
I know,
just
right?
flies.
Then there's also, let's see, Dying Light 2 was confirmed.
Yes,
And
that's going to be a very interesting one.
Yeah. And just the release date was just announced for December 7th. And they're expecting to see more about it at E3 too.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be cool. Bethesda, that's the big one, I think. Although there's not really any concrete evidence of anything coming from Bethesda. Bethesda has a great track record of post-apocalyptic games. I mean, of course, the Fallout series. And then even like Rage, I thought was a great game. I streamed Rage 2 a couple times here on this channel. But the thing is, though, they're saying there's going to be something big. They have their press conference on the 13th. They're saying there's going to be a big announcement, but there's been no hints at all about anything Fallout related. And I think a lot of us, we Fallout fans are kind of like, yeah, could be Fallout.
Yeah.
And Bethesda's like, what? No.
Yeah. It's like, we're tired of just releasing Fallout stuff every time.
Yeah.
But then you'll see, like, it's going to be the police standby screen with just, like, a timer, and then that's going to be it, and that's going to be their announcement, and people are going to speculate all year until...
Oh, man.
That's what they did with Fallout 4, didn't they? Like, that was that type of trailer that happened, and then everybody was like, oh my god, it's going to be a new Fallout, and then nothing for a while.
Yeah. They love
so
to
it's
do
just,
that
hey,
to us.
we're working on something. Yeah, they love to tease, for sure.
Oh man, I can't even imagine. There was an E3 when Fallout 3 was announced. I was at that E3 and they had a booth set up with an old camper, like an old Streamliner, I think they call those. They're like chrome campers from like the 60s, and they had all these mannequins dressed up with the Fallout jumpsuits, and they were just all around. And it was the most amazing. It was so great. You could go in there and you could kind of see, all the different things from the game. That was Fallout 3.
Yeah.
That was 2008.
Oh my gosh.
That's a long
time. That is way older than 2011.
That was a while ago.
Okay. Cool.
But there are some other possibilities besides just Fallout. There's also Halo Infinite. We know is coming, and that's Halo, especially when you get to the later games like Infinite, is post-apocalyptic. It was postponed, supposed to come out last year, postponed, so probably be a launch date announcement for that.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And then they have a new game that we do know is coming called Starfield.
Starfield.
The only thing is, I don't think it's post-apocalyptic. Could
be. What is it? It's a spacey type of game, judging from the
from the name Starfield.
From the title.
It's they showed a trailer, and basically it shows the spacecraft floating through the air, and then it gets sucked into a black hole, and that's it. So you're like, is it so you're like, is it a apocalypse that happens in space?
Yeah, who knows?
I'm reaching because I want it to be post-apocalyptic.
So you can cover it, but that would make sense though. But as you said before, Bethesda are known for their post-apocalyptic games.
Yeah.
So that would make sense that it would be one. But then again, it could be just sci-fi, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be disappointing. Although, no, it wouldn't be, because it would probably still be awesome. They say it is going to be an RPG.
Oh, nice. You know, RPG, I don't know if it's because I'm a boomer, but every time I hear the word RPG, I always think about turn-based RPG, and that's what I'm expecting from other games. And then I'm like, that's not an RPG game. What? But yeah, let's hope that it's not only a space RPG project, but a post-apocalyptic space RPG project.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Now, what's crazy is this has been, it was first announced, the trailer was first shown in 2018. So it's one of those things where, like you said, when they showed Fallout 4, they're like, here you go. Okay, now wait a long time.
Yeah.
And
so they did that with Starfield as well.
Yeah, but it's even worse. And so, nobody knows what's going on with it. They just know that it's space-based and it's an RPG and there's a black hole in the trailer. So,
oh my gosh. Yeah, so I guess people are looking forward to that too.
Yeah.
This is like 3 years in the making. Come on.
Oh,
They're probably going to have something for us.
I hope so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like you said, I want to cover it. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
I do like space games, though, although, I don't know. There's been a few lately that, I don't know. I haven't really gotten into a lot of the ones where you just fly through space. I played EVE Online for a while, and that's a pretty hardcore game.
Yeah.
And there's Star Citizen, which, I mean, I'm getting off track here. This is not post-apocalyptic, but Star Citizen is a great game. That's if you like sandboxes, that is a really good game. Elite Dangerous is another recent one. So what I'm saying is, I think it's a good time. A lot of people are really loving these space games.
Yep.
So it might be a good time for them to release it.
Wow. Yeah. We're really hoping for Fallout 5, though. Or like a remake of New Vegas. That would be really cool.
Yeah, not just a mod.
No, just a total like remake. And we'll come up with the mods on our own afterwards. But yeah. Cool. Is there anything else announced for E3 that is post-apocalyptic?
Not major. There could be some surprise, indie games that pop up. You never know.
For sure.
And those are sometimes the best, when those pop up and you're like, wow, that looks like a great game.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
There was this game. What was it called? Was it just, there was something about a cat. Oh, I forgot what the name was. But I know Stephanie was like really looking forward to it when they announced the trailer. But there's a cat that is going through a post-apocalyptic world, but it's like robots. Stray. Yes, Koopa in the chat said it. Yeah, Stray. I'm really looking forward to this one, and I hope that at E3 they kind of reveal a little bit more about it. That would be cool. Like, cause I don't even know when's the last time. Like, if I go on Steam right now and look up Stray, the game is there. I put it on my wish list, but it says planned release date 2021. But I said when? I want it now. Give it to me now.
Yeah, that'd be a great time to announce that.
Yeah. Oh, look, Steph is in the chat. She's like, Stray!
You said cat, and she just flew right to the computer.
Yeah, exactly. That's her cue.
Yeah.
There's a cat. What? And she's right there. But yeah, it would be cool if they would announce an actual release date for that game, because I know a lot of people were looking for that one. It looks really cool. It's basically cyberpunk. Apparently it's an indie game. Yeah, it's made by Blue 12 Studio, who I have no idea who that is. And it's an exploration adventure type of game. Like, I don't even know. It's basically the cat who's lost and separated from his family, and he needs to escape a long-forgotten cyber city to find the way home. So that's the only thing that we have. But the game looks beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful.
I know Steph talked a great deal about it on one of the very first podcast episodes. I think like 1 or 2, somewhere up there. All about it. Talked all about it. And it was... it does look really cool. I mean, what better exploration game than with a cat, you know?
I know, right? Yeah. It's like cats win the internet. So you already win if you have a cat as your main character in your game, right?
Yeah, I mean, the two best parts about, well, the two most fun parts about being a cat would be knocking things off of a table and exploring.
Yep.
And they already have a knocking stuff off the table game, the cat simulator game. So
Cat, it's called Cat Lateral Damage, I think.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Something like Cat Lateral Damage, yeah. Yeah, that was a cool game, but like after an hour or so, you're like, yeah, I'm kind of done shoving things away from like off of my shelf and breaking the TV and whatnot. But yeah, yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I wonder what other indie games are gonna show up and be post-apocalyptic, hopefully, so that we can cover it and play more games.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, and I want to stream more games too. I love streaming little indie games,
Yeah.
All right, so we have also a couple things coming up this week. Of course, E3 is in 2 weeks, so we'll probably talk about it again next podcast. But next week we have four kind of big things I wanted to talk about. One of them was War of the Worlds Season 2 is going to start, which I don't know a ton about it, but I know it's coming.
I know that it's not the BBC War of the Worlds, because there's two versions, right?
Yeah,
And I remember Stephanie and Derek talking about this like in the first few episodes of the podcasts, where they were like, wait a minute, we're trying to catch up, but we don't really remember, like they were watching the other show that's War of the Worlds. But this one is not the BBC one, it's the other one. I don't know what network it is. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Epics, it says. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go. There's also Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 15 is coming up.
I have not caught up on this, but I know that Stephanie and Derek have.
Yeah.
If they want to chime in eventually, then they can. But there'll probably be, there's most likely going to be coverage by Stephanie on the website, postapocalyptic.com. So go there if you want non-spoilery stuff and then spoilery stuff, because she's probably going to do a review article on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's coming up.
Yeah.
And what else we have?
And Handmaid's Tale Season 4, Episode 9 is coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another show that we both don't watch, but Stephanie and Derek do, so it's fine.
I just haven't caught up on this season. I've watched it all up until this season. I don't know. I just haven't had really time to sit down and watch it. But my wife watches it.
Right.
She says it's great. She's like, you have to watch this.
Oh, wow.
But
cool.
I believe her.
I have not. Yeah. This show is, it's so highly rated. A lot of people were just saying, oh my God, this show is so good, but it's so brutal at the same time. Like it gets you on the edge of your seat and, frustrated and very emotional, and you really get into the story and everything. So I'm like, maybe another time, because I don't want to watch a frustrating show. So I don't want to be mad for the characters. But basically it's because I really don't have time to watch the show. Or else I would, definitely, because it sounds like it's an amazing one.
Yeah. That's why I like movies better. I just, I still watch movies in parts, but it's just better. I don't know. And, it's funny. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go. I was going to say, last week we covered Eden, right?
Yeah.
It's 4 episodes, right?
Yeah.
I still have to watch one episode. Like, this is how, and they're 25 minutes. It's not like they're very long episodes, but I'm watching one episode here and there with my son, while we eat dinner or something.
Yeah. And
then it's straight back to work I go, right? So, like, I feel like watching a show like The Handmaid's Tale would take me probably 4 months maybe to watch like the first season before I'm done.
Yeah, and you can't watch it with your son either.
Oh, no, definitely not that one. Yeah, no. So I need to find another time frame where I can watch that show.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I think you'll like Eden. I really enjoyed it. I forgot if did I talk about it last time? I forgot if I... because I saw the whole thing.
Remember. Oh, we talked about it offline, so not in the show.
Oh, okay.
Not during the show. Because I remember that Stephanie was saying that, it's kind of predictable. The show is kind of predictable. And I can see that now, having watched 3 out of 4 episodes. So I'm like, oh, yeah, it kind of is predictable. And I'm watching it dubbed just because I wanted to hear David Tennant's voice.
Yeah.
And he does a robot, which I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then when I told my son about it, I'm like, hey, this is, the 10th Doctor. And he's like, oh, yeah. And that was it. I was like, oh, okay, you're not excited as I am. Maybe we should just switch it to Japanese. But yeah, it's a good show, though. It's a great show to watch with your kids, too. Unless they're, like, pretty young, because there's a lot of dialogue, not a lot of action.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
But
yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, I can't believe I was thinking of, when I was thinking of topics for today, I was thinking of if I already talked about it. I thought I did, but you're right. We were talking about it in the meeting. We have a meeting, and we were talking about, and I always get those two confused, like, the podcast. And
was that a podcast or the meeting?
Yeah. It's like the same thing, except we press record on the podcast. So that's, and so, I watched all 4 of them, and I really enjoyed it. I think it has an amazing, like a painterly style in the background. And so I love the art. I love the story was really good. Now, you said you're up to 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, episode 4.
I know a big spoiler.
Oh, well, we probably shouldn't say it.
No, I'm not going to mention it.
But yeah, I think episode 4 really kind of ties it all together, and but I think Stephanie was right when we were talking about how it's predictable. They make it seem like there's this big thing that's going to happen, and you're like, and they really build it up, and then you're like, okay, well, that's, you're like, I kind of knew that, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Let me put the popcorn back where it was. Yeah.
I think it's worth a watch, though. I think it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of want to rewatch it in Japanese, see if I get the same feel out of it, but yeah, I have to try that too. And then the last one that's coming up is Awake. That's another Netflix exclusive. Yes. Oh boy, I watched a trailer because you had mentioned it pre-show, and I was like, Awake, that sounds familiar. But then when I watched the trailer, I was like, wait, no, that's not familiar at all. Like, I must be thinking about something else. It looks freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's because you guys talked about it in a previous episode, but there wasn't any trailer that I could watch or anything, so I didn't have much more idea. But once you watch that trailer on Netflix, holy cow. I really want to see that show.
Yeah. It's another one of those that I discovered while doing my my YouTube roundup. I do that every Wednesday, and I find these crazy, trailers from stuff, and I'm like, oh, hey, that looks really good. And that's where I found this one. But it's a basically, I think a lot of people in the comments on the trailer were saying this too. It's basically like A Quiet Place, where they can't make any noise, they can't talk, except here they can't sleep. And if they sleep, they die. And so they have to find a cure for whatever this is before they all, fall asleep and die. And so they don't have a lot of time. They have like 2 days, It seems like a really cool idea. Very action-packed, very, I don't know. It seems like a well-acted movie from the trailer too. So.
Yeah. And I don't think it's a big spoiler because they show it in the trailer. But basically at some point, they have like the main characters at gunpoint, and there's a little girl in there, and she's like, I can't sleep. Yeah. And then, it's the whole like protect the little girl because people want to steal her away because she might be the cure to this whole not being able to sleep thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for that aspect of it, people were comparing it to not only A Quiet Place, but also Children of Men, which was a movie, like a post-apocalyptic movie about a woman who was pregnant, and she was the last one. Like, she's the last one because people couldn't have babies for, whatever it was, a long time.
Yeah.
And so they had to protect her. And I think it's I could see how the similarities there, but
yeah,
it looks cool. And that is,
Cool.
when is that supposed to come out?
Oh, I forgot. I did not
the
say
9th.
the date.
The 9th.
June
so that's,
9th?
Yeah, so that's next. Move my keyboard here. I think.
June 9th
Oh,
is
it's a
next
week.
Wednesday.
Yeah, next
Yeah,
Wednesday.
it's in a week. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Cool. We have Fat Loser. I don't like your username. Don't call yourself Fat Loser. In the chat says, this isn't a movie or a show, but have you heard of Back for Blood? Isn't that the Left 4 Dead thing?
Oh.
I think so. Like Back for Blood is like the follow-up to Left 4 Dead franchise or something like that. Like not a prequel, a sequel or something. I don't know.
From the same developers? I think I heard about that.
Turtle Rock Studios. Yeah. It's going to come on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, Xbox X, S, Microsoft Windows. That's pretty cool. Yeah, first-person shooter, survival horror. So it's basically going to be pretty much... it's going to look the same, basically, as Left 4 Dead franchise. But yeah. As it's really cooperative first-person shooter from the creators of the critically acclaimed Left 4 Dead franchise. Okay, there you go. So I don't even know if it's related. I say that, but it might not even be.
Yeah.
That's another one. Initial release date, October 12th, 2021. So I'm sure that we'll cover it at some point when we know more about it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. And thank you for the follow, too.
Yeah, thanks for following, dude. If you're listening to this podcast on your favorite podcast app on Friday, we do live stream the podcast every week on Tuesdays. Today's a Wednesday, but that's because I couldn't make it yesterday, so we had to postpone one day. Mm-hmm. But usually it's on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern. Mm-hmm. So make it to twitch.tv/postapocalyptic media for the podcast every week. And usually I'm not there, but I'm covering for the next week or so. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
We'll just kick Derek and Stephanie off the show. It'll just be us.
Yeah, that's fine. I really like having Derek and Stephanie here. I'm good with post-production stuff. Yeah. I enjoy doing the podcast too, but most of the time I'm just struggling to find my words. So here we go.
and being live doesn't help with the pressure, right?
Oh no, not at all. No, I'm used to doing that on my own, Twitch channel. Yeah. But yeah, it's much different when you're having a conversation and you can't really engage that much with Twitch, the chat, because you're not playing a game or anything, you're just talking about it. But yeah. Oh, thanks, Koopa. Koopa says you're doing great, Val. Heart emoji. Thanks. But yeah, Back for Blood is probably one that we're going to be covering in the future too.
Yeah. And like you said, we don't know for sure if it's like in the same story as Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. They just say that it's from the creators of the Left 4 Dead franchise. So I don't know if it's going to be the same story or not. Well, I guess we'll find out. We'll need to cover it.
That is very true. Okay. So yeah, that's what we have. I think that's all we have for this week. Next week we'll be probably back to doing this again, but on Tuesday. And
on Tuesday.
Yeah. And then after that, Derek and Stephanie should be back. So everyone can rejoice that Derek and Stephanie will be back.
Yes.
But thanks everyone for watching. This has been great. It's been fun. And I can't believe it's been exactly an hour. Look at that.
I know.
It's
crazy. It was meant that way. It was meant to be.
And I always appreciate when people talk in the chat room too, because it's great. That's like a lot of the fun is interacting too, So so if you're listening to this later and you didn't catch us live, definitely check us out. Twitch.tv/postapocalyptic media. And we also have postapocalyptic.com. You can go to postapocalyptic.com or postapocalypticmedia.com. They both go to the same place. And then we have all the social media stuff. We have the Facebooks and the Twitters and the Instagrams and YouTube and TikTok and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I left any off. But.
Well, we do have a really amazing calendar there that you can look at and see what everything is up for coming out, and when's your next, favorite show's episode gonna release? Is it canceled this week? Is it not canceled? Who knows? All the information is there too. And let us know if you see something that's not on calendar. We can totally add it. Just reach us on social media or anywhere. Really, we're everywhere.
Yeah, that'll probably be Val answering that too, right?
Yeah, well, sure. Yeah, I know all of that. Derek in chat said, "This is great. I'm going to like and subscribe." Hey, thank you, Derek, for liking and subscribing. Don't forget to go to YouTube and do that too.
Our YouTube has been blowing up lately, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So be a part of that. Jump on that.
Before we're too big and we can't talk to you no more.
Yeah. That'll be very soon, right?
Yep. Tomorrow.
All right. Thanks again, everyone, for watching, and we will see you next week.
Yep. And as always, be ready
for the big one.
For the big one. Yeah. Bye.